Welcome to Board Game Binge, the place where we bring you bite-sized, bingeable board game content across the industry. I'm your host, James Staley, and in this episode, we're chatting with Jeffrey CCH, the founder and lead designer of Ice Makes Games in Hong Kong. Jeffrey's latest creation, Terrascape 2, hits shelves early next year. Jeffrey, welcome to the binge. How you doing, my friend?
Hi, I'm doing fantastic. Nice to meet you and happy to be here to chat with you.
I am so excited to have you on this podcast. Shout out to Gus, who connected us. I think that's fantastic. So you're based out of Hong Kong, which I always get excited when I can talk to anybody in the Asian market and just kind of get insights from you, quite frankly, on how the market works there and how you take your ideas
No.
and your creations and export into the global market. So we're going to get into that on the podcast.
Okay.
Before we get there, my friend, where did this start? When did you start doing board games?
I started doing board games, I think, since I was a kid. Like in primary school, I'm
Mhm.
already trying to work on my games. Of course, back at that time, I don't know it can be a profession or it can be a work for me to make a living. But I just love to modify every games I could touch and try to implement my own version of it. And later on, after my university, I start to work on some prototype that is more likely to be published. Then I talk to my friends, and one day we just talk about maybe we start a company to try to do it. I think it's already around 10 years ago.
10
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
years. Wow.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
When you said earlier that you started modifying other games when you were younger, what were some of
Hmm.
the games you were modifying? Like what were some of the things you're doing like a homebrew on?
Uh, when I'm a kid, I don't have the access to any modern board games right now, but I have the Monopoly, I have the
Yeah.
Wii, Kudo, Scotland Yard, and a lot of TCG from the Japanese
Ah,
culture. Like I play, I don't know the English name, sorry,
it's
but
okay.
some other card games. But I used to try to modify it. Usually it's because I want it more thematically true,
Mm.
thematically accurate. Like when I'm playing Risk, I like the game, but when I firstly saw the map and all the miniatures, very cool soldiers there, I'm expecting a bit more to show like tactics or strategies on battlefield. So I usually design my own cards and I add a lot of rules to modify the game so
Oh,
that
that's
it is
crazy.
more suit my taste, I would say.
Yeah, well, I always tell people that was one of the first games I modified when I was a kid was Risk. And what
Yeah.
we did is we took, if you remember the old records, they had those little plastic swirls that you would put in the middle of the record. I don't know if they're called 45s or whatever to make a little small record fit on a standard record player. So we would
Hmm.
pop out these little plastic pieces which had swirls and we'd use those as nuclear fallout. So what we would do is when we got from like when you have the 10, the 10 armies, well if you could get up to 100 armies, you could exchange that into a nuclear weapon. And you could
Whoa.
pick one spot on the map and you could put that little nuclear fallout and any it would kill the spot you picked as well as any of the territories that were touching it. That was our
Hmm.
modification when I was a kid.
Wow.
But it gets you
Wow.
thinking, right? Like when you're younger, and this is
Yeah.
where the seed of game design often comes from. And when I'm talking to others who are, toying with wanting to maybe experiment in the industry, not knowing where to start, often I'll say that. I'll say, take a game that you like to play that has something about it that either bugs you or something you would think would make it better and start
Yeah.
there. That's going to
Yeah.
get you some experience on changing things, tweaking things. Because when you think of this industry as a whole, all board games have come on the shoulders of the games before them, right?
Yeah.
It's
That's
constant.
totally
I've
true.
got a buddy, Andrew, he always says iteration versus innovation, right? It's constantly iterating in this industry as we all move forward, and we're all standing on the shoulders of giants before us,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
that's cool to hear. So when you started then with your friends of creating a company 10 years ago, was it
Hmm.
Ice Makes at that time, or was it in a different format?
It's a different company. Like
Okay.
back in that time, we uh, found a company to make games for Hong Kong markets. Like we are not trying to, we don't have, we're not that ambitious, I would say.
Yeah.
Like it is difficult to imagine at that time we can sell games to around the world. So we focus on the Hong Kong market, try to find some very simple ideas. And of course, we have a very little budget. So we make small games for those. But
Mm,
we found that it is extremely difficult to make the balance. Like we cannot earn any money as well.
yeah.
We only produce 100 of copy of those small games
Oh,
in
wow.
Chinese version, of course. We just have the Chinese version, but it is difficult to sell them out, even just for 100 of copies. But it is fun, and we learn a lot about production, learn a lot about, okay, what kind of criteria we need to take care of when we are making files for productions. And later on, we spent 2 to 3 years to make games for some organization for educational purpose or some kind of promotion purpose,
Mm,
like for school or for some government organization, that kind of stuff. But those games is more about a project.
mm,
Like we will have some kind of task and we try to design for them. And a few years later, we start Ice Mix, which is the company right now. And we try to, through Kickstarter, to
mm.
have our creation go to the world. And that is another story.
Yeah. So when you talk about the Hong Kong market, because I find this very interesting, how is the game market in Hong Kong itself? Is it a vibrant market? Is there a lot of um gaming cafes? Like talk to us
Hmm,
a little bit
hmm,
about the kind of
hmm.
how gaming works in the local market.
Okay. I think just like a lot of different cities around the world,
Mm,
the board game culture is actually quite niche, a small market, but it's growing. We can see that there are gamers that would play a lot of famous game or even quite a lot of games.
mm,
They can be collectors for a lot of games around the world, but that's just a very small group. We do have board game cafes around Hong Kong, in Hong Kong. They usually would sell game that is more mass market related, like just like other places in the world. Uh, a lot of players would be interested in playing party games or some very simple strategy game, but not the harder one or those story-driven one.
mm,
And one thing special is in Hong Kong, the social deduction game is very popular. Like a lot of people would know about werewolf and know
hmm.
about Avalon, and some of them will know about the Secret Hitera or the Loss of Kraken. This type of more what do we say? Modern social deduction game.
Hmm.
Uh, those type of game is more popular in Hong Kong.
Wow. And then so
Hmm.
have you created any kind of social deduction games in your portfolio?
One, I have tried to design a social deduction game, which is called Morpho, a very small box game for 3 to 9 players.
Mm,
And that is hmm, I really engage in designing a social deduction game as well. But I found that it is quite difficult for us
mm,
to promote a game like a social deduction game around the world. Like it was need more time for us to research like different location, what is the taste of them, what kind of theme they would like to use when we are playing those type of game.
hmm.
And there is also one thing special about the team of Ice Mix and me. We in the past few years, we designed lots of different type of game. We have social deduction game, we have story-driven game, solo game, strategy, civilization 4X game. They are quite different from each other. And
Mm,
that is also one of the tough parts we are facing. Like our community is quite diverse and they are kind of scattering and difficult. There is a difficulty for us to do marketing well. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Uh, what's your approach in terms of game design? Um, do you have a process you go through in terms of like your methodology, or is it when something kind of inspires you, you just got to kind of get it down? Like, how do you approach your game? Because you've got quite a portfolio, right? So, how do you approach designing games?
I have several approach, but that is also a question that I'm always asking myself. And I think the main principle is I want to find a thematical experience that
Hmm.
is very engaging and very new to the market. Like I play a lot of games, but sometimes I will ask for more. And I found that I usually will ask for more in terms of the theme
Hmm.
and the immersion. Like when I'm playing a game, I really like the mechanics, but I can't see the immersion there, or I think we can have a tweaks or a variant of the theme here.
Hmm.
Then I will try to think of something. That is the first thing, first principle. The second principle is about mechanics. I'm also trying to very interested on finding new mechanics, and my method is usually just as you said, standing on the shoulder of the other giants.
Hmm.
Like I will try to learn a lot from other board games and also digital game as well, and find very interesting mechanics. I will either streamline it or try to change it, or combine in some mechanics with each other
Hmm.
and find something new. And I would say I would do these two things in parallel. Like from one hand, I would try to explore very interesting experience that is not yet implemented in the board game market. On the other hand, I would try to find new mechanics. And whenever there is something that really catch my attention, for example, I found an experience that I really want to do a game like this. The story is like that, and
Hmm.
the players will play as some of the characters inside to experience some of a kind of a vibe. I will try to picture it like picturing a movie. I think it's so cool. If this story can go on the table and let players to play inside the story, then it will be fantastic. And I will try to explore my memory about my experiment on the mechanics
Hmm.
and find those who could fit this idea. And then I will combine them. Whenever I could successfully combine two, then I will go to the other step, which is more about prototyping and try to develop around it. Like we have the core right now. What is the why? What is the objective of design? And what is the core mechanism? So we could play around. And I can play around about this for another half or even 1 or 2 years.
Hmm.
Depends on the scale of the project.
Do you ever abandon projects? Do you ever get partway through and you're just like, you know what? I just
Always.
can't get this to go.
I abandoned most of my projects.
Yeah. But
Yeah, I
success through
made,
failure, right? You like fail fast, I guess is what they say. And if
yeah.
it's not working, cut it and move on to the next thing to see if you can get it work. I guess you got the two camps, right? You got the one side that says, "No, keep going, keep grinding it out.
Yeah,
You'll
yeah,
figure it out." And then there's the other camp saying, "You know what? You tried, but now put those resources into something else that maybe has,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, more
yeah.
of a creative flow behind it, right?"
Mm.
And it's getting
And
into that
also,
creative flow that's important, I think,
yeah,
right?
yes. And in my experience, sometimes when a so-called abandon a idea, I put it aside, and after a year or two, when I return to it, I'll have something new. Sometimes it's we just need some time to think about it, or it is not correct to say that think about it. It's about you taking time for you to think of other things
Hmm.
and come back later. You could use some of the ideas from the previous one, or even you will find a way to refresh it, like to
Mm.
solve the problem you're encountering back then. That is a very interesting process. I do have some games that lately we publish it and we have quite a success, which was abandoned idea a
Oh,
lot of
really?
years ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would kind of like put at the shelf in my brain for a long time, and from time to time I'll review them, and sometimes there will be a spark. Like I learned something from other stuffs. Maybe it's not about games. Maybe it's just about a movie or a
Mhm.
novel. But when those chemical effects arrive, then the ideas could work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is
I
that's
keep a
cool. Yeah.
list. So I've got on my computer different folders. And
Wow.
even if it's like an idea or a concept or a theme, I will create the folder and I'll even just the name of the folder will be that theme. And
Wow.
as I get different ideas, I'll plop it into that folder and I park it. And then at
Wow.
some point down the road, when I feel like you're saying, you've played another game, you've got inspired by a different mechanism, you've been able to step away from it for a bit. Sometimes you
Mm,
can come back to those ideas, remix it, and turn into something that works really well.
mm.
But it's important not to
Which,
lose those ideas. Right?
yeah,
Always
yeah,
make sure you're
yeah. Drop it down.
documenting and get them written down, right? So,
Yeah.
oh, that's
I
awesome.
also try to drop it down in computer,
Yeah.
but later I try to use the phone because right now it is more convenient for me to jot down the notes. But I sounds like you are more systematic than me.
I don't
Uh,
know if it's
uh,
systematic. You know what? I think it was processed through necessity. So I kept having
ah,
ideas, and I would be like even at nighttime, I'd be laying in bed and I'd have an idea. I'm like, oh, when I
ah,
get up in the morning, I'm gonna write that down. That is gold. And then in the morning, poof, gone. Like the idea
yeah,
is
yeah.
gone, and then it's
I
like,
also have that
no,
experience.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
now
yeah.
I try to at least get it written down. I've written stuff down where I come back to it. I'm like, what was this? I have no idea what I even wrote down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, but my process is just get it down, and then later on I can come back to it and with a clearer mind and see if we can kind of combine it
Mm,
maybe or remix it.
mm, mm, mm.
So let's talk about your Kickstarter campaign. So you guys tried Kickstarter for a bit, and how did that work?
Yeah, we have quite lots of Kickstarter campaign already finished. Like since 2019 or 2018, I forgot the year, we try to use Kickstarter. As I mentioned, because we're based in Hong Kong, like before Kickstarter, we don't have the way or we don't have the guts to try to approach different
Hmm.
publishers around the world. Seems like it is very costly and difficult to success. But later on, we found that we could use Kickstarter.
Hmm.
Then we try to use it. The first project is not really success, but the second one is quite good. So that is also the time I kind of fully invest
Hmm.
onto board game creation. Like before that, I said I have another company working with my co-founder. I'm just doing part-time. Like I have a full-time job, but I spend time at night to handle the or different things about the company
Hmm.
and design game. But a Kickstarter helped me and also helped the company a lot. Like we can engage the
Yeah.
backers around the world. Mm.
What is your full-time job? Do you mind me asking?
Ah, before this job, I work in a company about baby products. I'm doing
Oh.
marketing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like distribution
Hmm.
of those. Yeah. It's very different, but I also learned something about it. Like learn about something about marketing, something about logistic,
Yeah.
and maybe a warehouse management. Yeah, that is also a cool experience for me.
I always say this to pretty much every guest I talk to is I'm always interested what their day job is, right? Outside of board games.
Ah,
Like, let's be clear, board games, it's very tough to make a lot of money on board games, right? So often
yeah.
people have jobs and this is their side, like me. I've got a job and this is my kind of my side gig.
Ah,
And you know, but no matter what you do,
mm,
literally no matter what you do, there is always a transferable skill that's going to give you a leg up in the board game
yes,
industry, right?
yes.
As you're saying, it could be logistics. It could be that someone's good at graphic design. It could be that someone is good at project management. It could be that someone's good at sourcing, right? It could be that someone's just very
Yeah.
good at figuring things out and getting to the right people. Like these are all skills that you can transfer when you come into this industry, which are going to give you something you can build on.
Yeah.
And I encourage people to kind of look at whatever they do as a day job and think, what
Mm.
is it in my job that I'm really good at?
Mm.
And think about
Yeah.
that when you come into the board game industry, because you'll be able to take that into the board game industry and apply it in some way.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
So,
So when
yeah.
you're on Kickstarter, so you had your two campaigns, so and the second one went better, which is usually the case, right? The first one's usually learning, second one
Mm.
better, and then it
Mm.
continues to grow from there. Is your
Mm.
plan to still do crowdfunding, in the future and with some of these games, or is it mainly you guys are going to start going retail direct and kind of
Yeah.
building out
Mm.
licensing and
Mm.
things like that?
Mm. 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 I decide to focus more on the crowdfunding for the coming few years as well.
Yep.
Like as I said, because we are in Hong Kong, it
Yeah.
is a little bit different from a
Mm.
publisher, a creator living in the market. Like in the country that is more related to the market. We are difficult to build up a local community and spread starting from there.
Mm.
So we really depends on digital platform, and we do think that Kickstarter or GameFound can be a very good platform for us
Hmm.
to get connection to the players.
Yeah.
There is two good things. Of course, the first one is they could know what is our creation. They could support us. That is very important, right? But the second thing is through this platform, we can talk to them. Like it is very difficult for us to talk to the players around the world.
Yeah.
And we, of course, we can go on BGG and go to Discord, but it is harder
Yeah.
to have a very. I know what I don't know what do you know what I mean? Or it's like when we're doing a crowdfunding project, it is easier to gain feedback,
Yeah.
and we can know more about the audience will think about my creation, my design, and also how we do the business. So if we go to direct retail sell, it is possible, but we'll lose those type of benefits.
Yeah.
So I would like to keep invest on a crowdfunding platform.
Got it. The crowdfunding, the challenge I find with like in Hong Kong's a great example of this.
Okay.
It is always the local currency that Kickstarter. This is my frustration in Canada as
Ah,
well, is
mm,
Kickstarter will always pick up the local currency. So when somebody
yeah,
browses, if they're not logged in, it's going to show like a huge number as
yeah,
your
yeah,
as your price, but
yeah.
it's not putting it into local dollars, right? So this is something I hope that Kickstarter can get around to
Me too.
giving an option, right? To say which currency do you want to present this in. I think that would make a world of difference. I know there's third-party services right now that different people offer. Hive is one of the ones that do this, where they can help you
Mm-hmm,
put it in
mm-hmm,
local currency.
mm-hmm.
But it's too much of a workaround, which is I don't like that. Like I wish you could
Mm,
just pick US dollars because everything is purchased in
yeah,
US
yeah,
dollars, right?
yeah, yeah,
It would
yeah,
make it
yeah.
much, much easier. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I agree. I agree that. And usually we'll try to use graphic to post the US dollar in the
Yeah.
beginning of the campaign. But still, yeah, the app is showing the currency you're in. Yeah.
I had this happen with Dice Tower. So Dice Tower was
Ah,
reviewing one of my games,
mm.
and one of the commentators said, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy expensive for a game." And it took Tom Vassell to say, "Oh, wait a second, this is in Canadian dollars. No, no, this is actually pretty reasonable price."
Yeah.
But the other people on the panel automatically jumped to just the number and not looking at the which currency it was in, which was interesting. So
Yeah, it happens. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Mm,
interesting.
mm.
So with your this game that you've got coming now in next year, can you talk a little bit about that? Like, what is Terrascape 2? How is it different than Terrascape 1?
Ah,
Can you
mm,
talk to us a little bit about what this is about?
mm, mm. Basically, when we have Terrascape one, which is very grateful to say that quite successful, that a lot of players like it. And I do have a lot of ideas to expand the game. So Terrascape 2 is something like a big expansion of Terrascape 1. But why it is called 2? Because I want to renew some of the mechanics in
Mm,
the core game. So I make a standalone game and I decide to how about call it season 2 because Terrascape, when we are doing the Terrascape 1, we use a very movie style
mm,
to that kind of direction in the graphics. So we think if we sell it like a movie, then it can be something called season 2, and we have a few movies that is connected to season 2. So we're doing the second, actually it's the third crowdfunding project campaign, which is Telescape 2 with a new standalone core game and also with its own expansions so that it can be played alone, but it is also can be combined with the previous titles
mm.
to play it together. And that is Starscape 2. Yeah.
And what do you do? Like, what's the game about? Can you tell our audience like what's the objective of this game? Is it a
Ah.
co-op? Is it are you playing with each other?
Mm,
What are you trying to
mm,
what's the
mm.
terror that you're trying to escape?
Yeah, Terrascape is a symmetric game that's one of the players plays the killer and the other players plays the survivors.
Got it.
And the special thing is there's a big screen, which is a mansion in the middle of the table. And we have two identical maps for the two parties. And the screen will block the sides of the killer and also the survivors as well. Whenever the killers move, if it is not a stealthy move, you have to announce and the survivor will move their piece at their own side. So it will implement a feeling that the killers is approaching, but they
Mm,
might they can hide. Like when the killer go into a location of the survivor, it is still hiding. Like the killer player will have to spend action points or cards to search the location. So it's something like a mind game, hide and seek game, which is really tense. Like the survivor players will try to hide, do risky move because they will have to find keys to leave the house, or they can repair the radio to call for help. So it's a very thematical, immersive horror theme asymmetric game. And also for the killer, it is something like a light strategy game and light deduction game.
yeah.
You will buy some clue, like some sound made by the survivors and some of your skill, like you could sense some of the location. Are you here? Are you in this zone? Something like that to try to deduce where are the survivors and try to entrap them or try to just go there, search, and do a fight. And we also have a very simple, streamlined battle mechanism for the survivors to try to defend themselves. So the game is something like a 30 minutes to 45 minutes horror movie. You can play as the killer to hunt, or you can play as the survivors to hide and escape.
That is cool. Yeah, the when I was looking at the first of all, congrats in terms of the design of it because it when you say immersive and people hopefully I'll do some overlays on this video so they can see how immersive this is. It looks super cool with the way you've got the mansion and everything set up. Um, but I geek out over little details like in Terrascape 2, how you've used the P and the E the I guess the spine of those two letters to put the two into the actual
Ah,
nameplate. I like stuff like that. Like that, I geek out over stuff like that because it's just a tiny little detail. It's
yes,
just a
yes.
clever graphic design, right? So, are you working with local artists, or who do you get to help you with like your graphic design and your artwork and
Ah,
all your games?
uh, we have in-house graphic designer, which is a Hong Kong designer.
Oh wow,
And we also will work with different freelancers around the world. For Terrascape, we have quite a lot of freelancer artists. Like some of them are from America, some of them are from Europe.
yeah.
And yeah, and that is how we do things, usually managed by me or by my graphic designers to talk with the freelancers. And we will do some, how do we call, coordination
Yeah.
between different artists, different style to make our own game.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, definitely you've got a lot of art in this, right? Like it's quite robust. Where do you go from here? Like, do you guys have another? You must have another game you're working on. Can you tease it or? let us know what you're working on next, or?
Yeah, we are working on something. Like actually, we are working on a few projects, but the next one will be a small box strategy game. Like previously, we have Age of Civilization, which is the first successful game of Ice Mix on
Yeah.
Kickstarter. And we have the Age of Galaxy, and the third one is we are so close to finish the development.
Yeah.
The name right now would be called Age of Legend. So it's
Interesting.
about high fantasy, about elves, about orcs, about dwarves. And just like Age of Galaxy and Age of Civilization, players can have a lot of different factions to find their own combos. We're working on it, and actually, this is the first time I talk about it publicly. I think in this year's POSN, we'll have some kind of sample or prototype to show at our booth. And we are planning to have the Kickstarter campaign next year.
Oh,
I
that'd be
believe
exciting.
it's something around March. I don't know. Yeah, we're planning about it.
Oh, so cool. So hopefully those who are going to Essen this year, swing by the Ice Makes booth and check it out. Hopefully you have the prototype for them to
Yeah,
see.
yeah. Mm.
Jeffrey, I want to wish you all the best in this coming year. Gosh, you got so much on the go. It's so cool to see these different games you're working on. Again, for those who are interested in Terrascape 2, you can get Terrascape 1 right now, right on your website. I'll put a link in the show notes. But Terrascape 2 is going to be early next year. And for those that obviously have played the first one, I'm sure they're going to be excited to get the second edition. So all the best to you and your team, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You take care. Cheers. This has been an episode of the Board Game Binge podcast, hosted by James Staley, produced by James Staley and Mike Bruner, with original music by Nick Smith. If you would like to watch these interviews live, simply subscribe to our YouTube channel, Board Game Binge, and you'll get access to live interviews, giveaways, and interesting board game content from across the industry. I can't wait for you to join us. See you next time.